One of my favourite questions to often ask many people around the idea of movement is, you look at very established players and very accomplished players, the idea of kind of spatial awareness, spatial reasoning is often referred to as, or the idea of proprioception. Most advanced players are very aware of where that lead hip is in space. In many ways, the lead hip is the true movement GPS within the goal swing. So a wonderful question to explore, and in some cases this can sound a bit kind of dismissive and slightly evasive, but it's hugely evocative of then how we move. Is if the lead hip was the club face, how could you move to best position the pelvis in order to find impact? So if this was kind of lead hip, it's shown by the kind of circle on screen here. Again, the idea of could, not, should, how could you move is a very exploratory, very expansive approach versus this is what you should do, is a very narrow, very what's called deterministic, this is what you must do approach. So again, how could you move to best position the pelvis in order to find an impact? And almost immediately, and very intuitively, players then start to kind of move that lead hip in order then to find impact in the most kind of wonderfully expansive, again, most kind of playful way. So we kind of hit towards the camera now. If lead hip was club face, how could you move to best position the pelvis to find impact? Almost immediately, regardless of someone's status, time in golf, their movement perception, for example, almost always they start to move the pelvis this way in then order to find impact. What's unusual to see is then players kind of move this way or excessively that way or kind of move this way. It almost goes against that kind of intuitive, that very kind of playful autonomous brain. So wonderful question to explore. Once again, if the lead hip was club face, how could you move to best position the pelvis in order to find impact? Can be really evoke then the most kind of wonderful exploratory awareness and very autonomous awareness of then how to move in downswing. So just then start to observe. Humans are observers. We are observers of how players interact with the environment. So humans are part observers, part environmentalists. How do we observe how they interact with the environment? Just then start to see when that pelvis here or that lead hip is club face, how could they move to best position their pelvis to find impact? It can be a wonderful way then of exploring then how we then move both in transition through downswing and then into and through impact.